Daniel almost didn't sit down. The chair across from her was empty, but it didn't feel available. The woman had her hands wrapped around a cup gone cold, fingers tight like she might drop it if she loosened them even a little. People moved around her, orders called out, chairs scraping, but she stayed still, as if the noise had agreed to pass her by. He noticed it because Lily noticed it first. "Dad," she whispered, not pointing, just looking. The woman's eyes were open but unfocused. Not crying. Not anymore. Something else had settled in. Daniel hesitated longer than he should have. Then he pulled the chair out anyway. "Is this seat taken?" The woman looked up like she had forgotten how to answer a simple question. Daniel didn't sit all the way at first. Just the edge of the chair, like he might still stand up again if it felt wrong. "It's fine," the woman said. A second too late, what she had to find the words somewhere. Her voice wasn't weak. Just unused. He nodded once and settled in properly. Lily climbed onto the chair beside him, small hands already busy with the edge of a napkin. She didn't stare, but she didn't look away either. Children didn't pretend not to notice things. Daniel cleared his throat, regretted it immediately. It sounded too loud in the middle of everything else. "We can move if you—" "No," the woman said, a little quicker this time, then softer, like she heard it herself. "No, it's okay." She shifted her hands away from the cup, then brought them back again. A small loop, like she didn't know where to place them. Lily leaned forward just enough to see the cup. "You're not drinking it," she said. Daniel closed his eyes for half a second. "Lily." "It's cold now," Lily added. "Not rude, just certain." The woman looked down at the cup, as if seeing it for the first time. Her fingers loosened. Slightly. "Yes," she said. "I guess it is." There was a pause. Not uncomfortable, just present. Daniel reached for his own cup, mostly to have something to do. The coffee was still warm. He took a small sip, burned his tongue a little. Didn't react. Lily slid off her chair and stood between them, looking at both like she was waiting for something to connect. "What's your name?" she asked. Daniel opened his mouth again, but the woman answered first. "Maya." It came out quieter than before, but steadier. "I'm Lily," she said, as if the introduction completed something important. Then she looked back at Daniel. "And that's my dad." Daniel gave a small nod. "Daniel." Maya's eyes moved between them, not lingering too long on either. Something in her face shifted, not a smile, not quite, but less closed than before. "That's a nice name," she said to Lily. Lily accepted that without comment. She climbed back onto her chair and reached for Daniel's sleeve, holding it loosely. The cafe noise pressed in again like it had been waiting. Someone laughed too loudly near the counter. A blender started up for a few seconds, then stopped. Chairs scraped. A door opened, letting in a brief rush of cooler air. Maya flinched at that. Not much, but enough. Daniel noticed. He didn't say anything. He had seen it before. Not exactly this, but close enough to recognize the edges of it. The way the body reacts before the mind catches up. He rested his hand lightly on the table, palm down. Not reaching. Just there. Lily started folding the napkin into something that didn't hold its shape. She smoothed it out again and tried differently. "Do you live near here?" she asked Maya, without looking up. Daniel almost interrupted again, but he didn't. Maya took a second, then another. "Yes," she said. "Not far." "Me too," Lily said. "We come here on Saturdays." Daniel glanced at her. That wasn't entirely true, but close enough. Maya nodded slowly. "That's good." Her eyes dropped back to the cup. Daniel watched the way her fingers moved now. Not gripping anymore. Just resting. "You don't have to stay," she said suddenly, still looking down. "I didn't mean to." "You didn't," Daniel said, quiet but firm. She looked up again. There was a question there, but it didn't form. He didn't explain. Lily leaned her head against his arm. "We're not busy." Maya let out a small breath. It wasn't a sigh. Just air leaving. "Okay," she said. Another pause settled in. Different this time. Less tight. Daniel noticed the small things. The way Maya's shoulders lowered just a fraction. The way she blinked a little slower now. The way her hands stayed still instead of returning to that same restless loop. He didn't ask anything else. He had learned that questions, even simple ones, could feel like pressure when someone wasn't ready. So he waited. Lily didn't. "Do you have kids?" she asked. Daniel's hand moved slightly, not quite stopping her, just there. Maya didn't answer right away. Her eyes stayed on Lily, but something in them changed. Not sharper, not softer, just deeper, like a door had opened behind them, and she didn't know if she should step through it. "I did," she said. Lily tilted her head. "Did." Daniel felt it then. The shift. Subtle, but heavy. Maya seemed to hear it too. The weight of the word sitting there between them. "Yes," she said again, quieter. Lily didn't understand fully. "Not yet." "Oh," she said, as if that explained something she hadn't asked. She went back to the napkin. Daniel kept his eyes on Maya for a moment longer, not staring, just acknowledging. She looked away first. The door opened again. Someone walked in, bringing with them the sound of traffic and a quick gust of wind. Maya's shoulders tensed again, then settled faster this time. Daniel noticed that too. "Do you come here often?" he asked, keeping his voice even. It wasn't a question that mattered. That was the point. Maya blinked once, as if adjusting to the change. "Sometimes," she said. "More lately." Daniel nodded. "It's quieter in the mornings." "It wasn't today," she said, almost to herself. "No," he agreed. Lily finally succeeded in folding the napkin into something resembling a triangle. She held it up. "Look." Daniel smiled faintly. "That's good." She turned to Maya. "Do you want it?" Maya hesitated, then reached out slowly, but she was unsure if she should take something so small. "Thank you," she said. She held the napkin carefully, as if it might fall apart in her hands. It probably would. Lily watched her, satisfied. Daniel leaned back slightly, giving the space a little more air. He didn't know what this was yet. A moment, maybe. Something that would pass once they stood up and left. But it didn't feel empty. Maya looked at the napkin again. Then at Lily. "You made this?" she asked. Lily nodded. "It's not perfect." "It doesn't have to be," Maya said. The words stayed in the air a second longer than expected. Daniel felt something shift again. Small, quiet, but real. He reached for his cup again. It had cooled now. He didn't mind. For a while, none of them said anything, and for the first time since he sat down, the silence didn't feel like something that needed to be filled. They didn't stay long after that. Not because anything ended. Just time moved again. Daniel noticed it first in the way Lily started swinging her legs under the chair. A quiet signal she was ready to go without saying it out loud. She didn't rush. She never did. But her attention shifted, drifting toward the door, the people coming in, the small distractions that hadn't mattered before. Maya still held the folded napkin, carefully, like it had edges that could cut if she pressed too hard. Daniel stood up slowly, not wanting the movement to feel abrupt. He reached for his wallet, then paused. "You don't have to," Maya started. "I wasn't going to," he said, a small hint of something almost like humor, but not quite. She blinked, caught off guard, then gave the smallest nod. Lily slipped off her chair and stood beside him, her hand finding his again without looking. She glanced at Maya. "Bye," she said. It wasn't casual. It wasn't heavy either. Just direct. Maya looked up at her. "Bye, Lily." There was something steadier in her voice now. Not fixed, but less fragile than before. Daniel hesitated. Not long, just enough to feel it. "Take care," he said. Maya nodded again. "You too." He almost said something else. He didn't know what. It didn't come. So he turned. The door opened with a soft chime as they stepped outside. The air felt cooler than it should have. Or maybe he had just gotten used to the warmth inside. Lily squeezed his hand once. She was sad, she said. Daniel didn't answer right away. Cars moved past them. Someone across the street was arguing on the phone, voice sharp, words unclear. A bus pulled up at the corner, brakes hissing. Life continuing, steady, indifferent. Yes, he said finally. Why? He exhaled slowly. I don't know everything, he said, but sometimes people lose things they can't get back. Lily looked up at him. Like when my balloon flew away? Daniel's grip tightened just a fraction. Not exactly, he said, but kind of. She thought about that. Will she get better? The question sat heavier than it should have. Daniel looked ahead, not at her. I think, he paused, adjusted. I think it takes time. How much? He almost smiled. Almost. I don't know. Lily accepted that. She usually did when he said it that way. They walked a little further in silence. Daniel felt something unsettled in him. Not sharp, not urgent, just there. He had seen people like Maya before, not often, but enough to recognize the quiet distance. The way someone could be present and still feel somewhere else entirely. The way small things, noise, movement, a door opening, could land heavier than they should. He had learned not to step into it without reason. Not because he didn't care, because sometimes stepping in meant staying longer than you expected. And he had Lily. That mattered more than anything else. He adjusted his pace slightly so she didn't have to hurry to keep up. Can we come back next Saturday? She asked. The question came lightly, but not randomly. Daniel glanced down at her. Why? She shrugged, but it wasn't careless. I just want to. He looked ahead again. The cafe door was still visible behind them, a few people moving in and out. Maya wasn't one of them. Maybe, he said. Lily didn't push. They reached the car. Daniel opened the passenger door for her, waited until she climbed in, then closed it gently. He walked around to the driver's side but paused before getting in. He looked back, just once. The cafe windows reflected more than they showed. Movement, light, shapes overlapping. He couldn't see her clearly. Maybe she had moved tables. Maybe she was still sitting there, holding that same cup, that same folded napkin. Maybe she had left already. He didn't know why it mattered. But it did. He got in the car. The engine started with a low hum. He rested his hands on the wheel for a moment before shifting into drive. Lily buckled her seatbelt with practiced ease. Can we bring her something next time? She asked. Daniel frowned slightly. Like what? I don't know, she said. Something warm. He almost asked what that meant. Then he realized she wasn't talking about food. He leaned back slightly, exhaling through his nose. We'll see, he said. They pulled away from the curb. The cafe disappeared from view faster than he expected. The week didn't settle the way it usually did. Daniel noticed it in small moments, when he reached for his keys and paused longer than necessary, when he stood in the kitchen, staring at nothing in particular while the kettle boiled too long, when Lily asked something simple and he needed a second to respond. He didn't talk about it. There wasn't anything to say. It had been a short conversation. Barely that. No names exchanged beyond the basics. No promises. No plans. Just a moment. But it stayed. Not loud, not demanding, just present. On Thursday, Lily brought it up again. They were sitting on the floor, pieces of a puzzle spread out between them. She held one piece in her hand, turning it slowly. Do you think she still has the napkin? She asked. Daniel placed a piece down, pressing it gently into place. I don't know, he said. She didn't throw it away, Lily said, more certain than asking. Daniel looked at her. Why do you think that? She held it like it was important. He didn't respond right away. Lily wasn't wrong. He remembered the way Maya had taken it. Carefully. Not like a child's folded paper. Like something that had weight. Maybe she kept it, he said. Lily nodded, satisfied. They worked on the puzzle a little longer. Daniel found himself placing pieces without really seeing them. His mind kept returning to small details. The way Maya had said, I did. The pause before it. The way her shoulders reacted to the door opening, the way she had looked at Lily not with forced kindness, not with distance, but something in between. Something that didn't have a name he could place easily. On Friday night, he almost decided not to go back. It would be easier. Let the moment stay what it was. Unfinished, but contained. There was no obligation, no expectation. People crossed paths all the time without it meaning anything more. He told himself that. It didn't settle right. Saturday morning came anyway. Lily was already dressed before he was. "You said maybe," she reminded him, standing in the doorway. He looked at her for a second, then nodded. "Okay." The cafe looked the same. Same tables, same noise, same light coming through the windows at that angle. But Daniel felt it before he even stepped inside. A quiet shift in his chest. Not anxiety. Not exactly. Just awareness. He opened the door. The chime sounded again. Lily walked in first this time, scanning the room without making it obvious. Daniel followed, slower. Maya was there. Same table. Different cup. She looked up almost immediately, like she had been expecting the door to open, even as she didn't know who would walk through it. For a second, no one moved. Then Lily smiled, small, certain. "Hi," she said. Maya blinked. Then something in her expression softened in a way Daniel hadn't seen before. "Hi," she said back. Daniel stepped forward. He didn't hesitate this time, and that felt like more than it should have. Maya didn't stand when they approached. She shifted slightly like she had considered it, then stayed where she was. Her hands weren't wrapped around the cup this time. They rested on the table, open, fingers still. Daniel noticed that first. Then the cup, steam still rising. Lily climbed into the chair across from her without asking, like she already understood that part didn't need permission anymore. "Your drink is warm today," she said. Maya glanced at the cup, then back at Lily. A faint line formed at the corner of her mouth. Not quite a smile, but close enough that it changed her face. "Yes," she said. "I remembered." Daniel pulled the chair out and sat down. This time, no hesitation. The movement felt decided. "Morning," he said. "Morning," Maya replied. Her voice held more weight now, not heavier, just present. For a moment, no one said anything else. The silence wasn't the same as before. It didn't stretch or press. It just existed, like something shared. Lily leaned forward, elbows on the table. "I thought about you," she said. Daniel let out a quiet breath through his nose, not correcting. Just aware. Maya's eyes flickered, caught off guard again, but not in the same way as last time. "You did?" she asked. Lily nodded. "About the napkin." Maya's hand moved slightly, almost instinctively, toward her coat draped over the back of the chair, then stopped. "I still have it," she said. Lily smiled, satisfied in a way that didn't need anything more. "I knew it." Daniel watched the exchange without interrupting. Something about it felt like it didn't belong to him, even though he was sitting right there. Maya reached into her coat pocket, slower than necessary, like she was aware of the moment stretching around the movement. She pulled out the napkin, carefully folded, edges softer now. She placed it on the table. Lily leaned closer. "It's still good," she said. "It is," Maya replied. Her fingers hovered near it but didn't touch. "Not this time." Daniel looked at it briefly, then away. He didn't need to see it to understand what it had become. "Did you come early?" he asked, keeping his voice even. Maya nodded. "I wasn't sure if—" She paused, adjusted. "I just got here." It wasn't entirely true. Daniel could tell. Not from anything obvious, just the way she said it. He didn't press. Lily reached out and gently straightened one corner of the napkin. "You could make another one," she said. Maya shook her head, a small movement. "I think one is enough." There was something in the way she said it. Not dismissive, just certain. Lily accepted that without question. Daniel leaned back slightly in his chair. "Do you always sit here?" he asked. Maya glanced around the cafe for a second, then back at him. "Lately," she said. "Why this table?" The question came out before he could stop it. Maya didn't answer right away. Her eyes moved to the window beside them. People passed by outside, blurred slightly by the glass. The dog stopped, tugging on its leash. Someone checked their phone, then kept walking. "It's near the door," she said finally. Daniel nodded. That made sense. And didn't. Lily swung her legs under the table again, a quiet rhythm. "We could sit somewhere else," she said, looking between them. "No," Maya said, a little too quickly. Then softer. "No, this is okay." Daniel caught that. The speed of it. The correction after. He didn't say anything. A server passed by, pausing just long enough to glance at their table. "Can I get you anything?" she asked Daniel. "Just coffee," he said. She nodded and moved on. Maya watched her go for a second, then looked back at the table. "You don't have to stay long," she said, not looking at either of them. Daniel tilted his head slightly. "We just got here." "I know." She pressed her fingers lightly against the table. "I just mean, you don't have to feel like you should." Lily frowned a little, not understanding the shape of that sentence. Daniel did. "We're here because we want to be," he said. Maya's jaw shifted slightly, like she was holding something in place. "That's not always a good reason," she said. The words landed quietly. Daniel didn't respond right away. He could have disagreed, could have said something simple, something easy. He didn't. "Sometimes it is," he said instead. Not firm, not soft. Just there. Maya looked at him then, really looked, for the first time since they sat down. Not searching, not guarded, just measuring something she couldn't name yet. Then she looked away. Lily tapped the table lightly with her fingers. "Do you have a favorite drink?" she asked. Maya blinked, pulled back into the present. "I used to," she said. Lily tilted her head. "Used to?" Maya's lips parted slightly, like the answer had been ready once but wasn't anymore. "I don't know now," she said. Lily considered that. "You could try mine," she offered. "It's hot chocolate." Daniel glanced at her. "You don't have one yet." "I will," Lily said, certain. Maya let out a small breath. Not quite a laugh, but close enough that it softened the space again. "Maybe," she said. The server returned with Daniel's coffee. He thanked her quietly. The cup was warm in his hands. Grounding. He took a sip. It tasted stronger than usual. Or maybe he just noticed it more. Maya's gaze drifted again, but not as far as before. It stayed within the edges of the table, the napkin, Lily's small movements. Daniel watched that too. The difference. Last week she had seemed somewhere else entirely, pulled away from everything around her. Now she was here. Not fully, not easily, but enough to notice. That mattered. "Do you come here alone?" he asked. The question felt heavier than the others. Maya didn't answer immediately. Her fingers traced the edge of the napkin once, then stopped. "Yes," she said. There was more behind it. Daniel didn't ask. Lily rested her chin on her hand. "You can sit with us," she said. Maya looked at her. Something shifted again. Smaller this time, but deeper. "I am," she said. Lily smiled. Daniel looked down at his coffee. He hadn't planned this. None of it. A second visit. The same table. The same three people, sitting closer now than they had any reason to be. It didn't feel accidental anymore. That thought stayed with him. Quiet. Unresolved. But there, they stayed longer than Daniel expected. Not because the conversation carried them. It didn't. Not in any obvious way. There were pauses, long ones, moments where no one spoke and no one tried to fix it. But no one left either. Lily got her hot chocolate eventually. She held it with both hands, careful at first, then less so once it cooled. She offered it to Maya like she had promised. "Try it." Maya hesitated only a second this time. She took the cup, brought it closer, and took a small sip. "It's good," she said. Lily watched her closely. "I told you." Daniel noticed the way Maya handed the cup back. Not rushed. not distant. Just normal. A small thing. It didn't feel small. Outside, the light had shifted. The sharpness of the morning softened into something warmer. The cafe filled and emptied in slow waves. People came in with purpose, left without noticing anyone but themselves. At their table, time moved differently. Daniel checked his watch once. Not because he needed to. Just habit. Maya saw it. "You can go," she said. It wasn't sharp. It wasn't defensive. Just offered. Daniel shook his head. "We're okay." She nodded, but her fingers pressed together lightly, like she didn't fully believe him. Lily was drawing something now on a spare receipt Daniel had found in his pocket. She pressed hard, the pen leaving marks that showed through the paper. "What are you making?" Maya asked. Lily didn't look up. "A house." Maya's gaze stayed on the paper. "Does it have windows?" she asked. "Yes," Lily said. "Two." "Only two." Lily shrugged. "That's enough." Maya nodded slowly. "Yes," she said. "Sometimes it is." Daniel watched the way her eyes followed the lines Lily was drawing, not just seeing them, holding on to them. He had a thought then. Brief, uncomfortable. He pushed it away. "You're good at that," Maya said after a moment. Lily smiled without looking up. "I practice." Daniel leaned back slightly, stretching his shoulders. They felt tight. He hadn't noticed when that started. Maya's cup was still half full. She hadn't touched it in a while. "Do you work nearby?" he asked. The question came out more casual than it felt. Maya blinked, like she needed a second to place herself. "I used to," she said. There it was again. That word, Daniel didn't follow it. "What did you do?" Lily asked. Quicker this time. Daniel glanced at her, not to stop her, just aware. Maya's eyes moved from Lily to the table. "I worked at a school," she said. Lily looked up immediately. "Like a teacher?" Maya hesitated, then nodded. "Something like that." "What grade?" Maya's lips pressed together slightly, then relaxed. "Younger kids," she said. Lily seemed to approve of that. "That's good. They need help." Maya let out a small breath. This time it carried something closer to a real laugh. Faint, but there. "Yes," she said, "they do." Daniel watched her carefully. There was a difference when she spoke about that. Not lighter, exactly, but clearer. Like the words came from somewhere that hadn't been closed off. "Do you still go there?" Lily asked. Maya shook her head. "No." Lily frowned slightly. "Why?" Daniel shifted in his chair. "Lily, it's okay," Maya said gently. She didn't answer right away. Her fingers moved again. Not restless this time, just thinking. "I needed some time," she said. Lily accepted that. Not fully understanding but not questioning it either. "Okay," she said, and went back to her drawing. Daniel felt the weight of that answer settle in. Not heavy. Not yet. But present. He took another sip of his coffee. It had gone lukewarm. He didn't mind. Maya looked at him then, briefly. "You don't ask a lot of questions," she said. It wasn't criticism. Just observation. Daniel met her gaze for a second. "I try not to ask the wrong ones." Maya held that for a moment, then nodded. "That's fair." Another pause. This one felt different. Less like space. More like something building under the surface. Lily finished her drawing and slid the paper toward Maya. "This is the house," she said. Maya leaned closer. It was simple. A square. A triangle roof. 2 windows. A door slightly off-center. Maya traced the outline with her eyes. "It's nice," she said. "It's not finished," Lily added. "What's missing?" Lily thought about it. Then pointed to the space beside the house. "People." Maya's hand stilled near the edge of the paper. Daniel felt it too. That shift. Quiet, but sharp. "Who lives there?" Maya asked. Lily looked between them. "Us," she said. The word hung there. Daniel didn't move. Maya didn't either. For a second, it felt like the cafe had pulled back again, Like everything outside their table had softened, blurred. Us, Maya repeated, almost under her breath. Lily nodded. You can come too. Daniel inhaled slowly. He didn't interrupt. Maya's eyes stayed on the drawing. Her expression didn't change much, not outwardly, but something in her posture shifted, just slightly, like she had straightened without realizing it. That's kind, she said. Lily smiled, satisfied with the answer. Daniel watched Maya for another second, then looked away. He wasn't sure what to do at that moment, or what it meant. He didn't try to decide. The cafe door opened again. The chimes sounded. Someone walked in, shaking off the outside air. Maya's shoulders tensed, but not as much as before, and this time she didn't look at the door. She stayed where she was, looking at the small drawing on the table. Daniel noticed that. He noticed all of it, and he understood something, not fully, but enough to feel it settle in him. This wasn't just a moment anymore. It had already moved past that, quietly, without asking. And he wasn't sure where it was going, only that he hadn't stepped away. Not yet. It stopped feeling like coincidence. Not all at once. Not in a way Daniel could point to. Just small shifts. The third Saturday he didn't ask Lily if she wanted to go. She was already by the door, shoes half on, waiting. You're slow, she said. Daniel glanced at the clock. He wasn't. Still, he picked up his keys without answering. The drive was quiet, not heavy, just expected. Lily watched out the window, counting something under her breath. He didn't ask what. It didn't matter. When they pulled up, Daniel stayed in the car a second longer than usual. His hand rested on the steering wheel. Not gripping. Just there. He didn't look at the cafe right away. He knew what he was checking for. He didn't want to make it obvious. Lily opened her door before he could say anything. Come on. He got out. The air felt sharper that morning. Thinner. Or maybe he noticed it more. Inside, the cafe was quieter than usual. Fewer people. Softer movement. Maya was already there. Same table. Same place by the window. But something was different. Daniel saw it before he understood it. The napkin wasn't on the table, and sat beside her cup, tucked neatly under the edge of a small plate, like it belonged there now. Like it had found a place. Maya looked up when they walked in. Not startled, not searching, just aware. Hi, Lily said. Maya's expression shifted in that familiar, quiet way. Hi. Daniel nodded once. Morning. Morning. He pulled out the chair and sat down. No pause. No second thought. Lily slid into her spot, already leaning forward. You moved it, she said, pointing to the napkin. Maya glanced at it, then back at Lily. I didn't want it to get wrinkled. It's already wrinkled, Lily said, not unkind. Maya considered that. Yes, she said, but not worse. Lily accepted that. Daniel watched the exchange, something settling in his chest that he didn't name. The server came over, already recognizing them. The usual? She asked Daniel. He nodded. And for you? She asked Lily. Hot chocolate. She smiled. Of course. Maya shook her head when the server looked at her. I'm okay. The server nodded and moved on. Silence followed, but it didn't stretch awkwardly. It held. Lily tapped her fingers on the table. I brought something, she said. Daniel looked at her. You didn't tell me that. She reached into her small bag and pulled out a folded piece of paper. Not a napkin this time. Thicker. Colored slightly. She placed it in front of Maya. For you. Maya didn't reach for it right away. Her eyes stayed on it, like she was deciding if she should. What is it? She asked. A better one, Lily said. Maya let out a small breath, then picked it up. She unfolded it carefully. Another shape. More deliberate this time. The edges sharper, the folds more precise. Daniel recognized it. He had shown Lily how to make it a few nights ago. A small, simple crane. Not perfect, but close. Maya held it in her hands, turning it slightly. It's beautiful, she said. Lily beamed. Dad helped. Maya glanced at Daniel. Of course he did. There was something in her tone, light but not careless. Daniel shrugged slightly. She did most of it. Maya nodded, still looking at the paper. Still, she said, it's thoughtful. Her fingers moved along the folds, slower than necessary. Daniel noticed the way her hands had changed. Less restless. More deliberate. You can keep that one too, Lily said. Maya looked up. Two? The napkin one, Lily said. Maya's gaze flickered to the side, where it rested under the plate. Yes, she said. I know. Daniel leaned back slightly, watching her. There was something different in the way she held things now, not just the paper. The space, the moment. It wasn't as fragile. Still careful. But steadier. Do you come here every day? Lily asked. Maya shook her head. No. Just Saturdays? Mostly. Lily nodded, like that made sense. Daniel studied her for a second. Why Saturdays? He asked. Maya didn't answer right away. Her fingers stilled on the crane. She looked out the window. People passed. A cyclist slowed at the corner, adjusted something, then kept going. It used to be busy, she said. Daniel waited. It still is, he said. Maya shook her head slightly. Not the same kind. He understood that. Or thought he did. Lily didn't ask more. She picked up her hot chocolate when it arrived and blew on it carefully. Maya watched her. Not with distance. Not with that same quiet ache from before. Something else. Something softer. Daniel caught it. He didn't say anything. He didn't need to. Do you miss it? Lily asked suddenly. Daniel glanced at her, then at Maya. Maya didn't seem surprised by the question. Not this time. Yes, she said. Lily nodded slowly. Me too, she said. Daniel frowned slightly. What do you miss? Lily shrugged. Things. That was all. Maya's expression shifted again. Not pain. Not exactly. Recognition. Yes, she said quietly. Things. Daniel let the moment sit. He didn't try to shape it. Didn't try to understand all of it. Some things didn't need to be explained out loud. He looked at Maya again. Really looked. She wasn't somewhere else anymore. Not the way she had been that first day. She was here. Not fully. Maybe not ever fully. But enough that it changed the air around her. And around them. He felt it in the way he sat. In the way Lily spoke. In the way the silence didn't carry weight anymore. It carried something else. He didn't name it. He wasn't ready to. But it was there. And it wasn't leaving, not easily. It didn't stay inside the cafe. That was the first change Daniel didn't expect. It happened quietly. No discussion. No clear decision. Just a moment that shifted something forward. They were standing outside, the door closing behind them, the usual pause before going separate ways. Lily was still holding her cup, empty now, tilting it slightly as she walked. Maya stood near the edge of the sidewalk, hands in her coat pockets this time. Not folded in on herself, just placed. Bye, Lily said, like always. Maya nodded. Bye. Daniel gave a small nod, too. Take care. He meant it the same way he had before. But it didn't land the same. There was a second a second where none of them moved. Then Lily spoke again. We're going to the park. Daniel glanced down at her. That's new, he said. Lily shrugged. It's not far. Maya's eyes shifted between them. The park? She repeated. Daniel adjusted his grip on his keys. We don't have to, he said, more to Maya than to Lily. Lily frowned slightly. Why not? Daniel didn't answer her. Maya looked toward the street, then past it in the direction of the park. Not directly. Just aware of where it was. I haven't been there in a while, she said. The words were simple, but they stayed. Lily stepped closer to her. You can come, she said, like it was obvious. Daniel inhaled slowly. He didn't interrupt. Maya didn't respond right away. Her shoulders shifted slightly, a small movement that didn't fully settle. I don't know if I... It's just walking, Lily said. And swings. Daniel almost stepped in then, but he didn't. Maya looked at Lily, then at Daniel. He didn't push, didn't nod, didn't encourage. He just stood there, letting the space stay open. Maya exhaled, slow. Okay, she said. The word was quiet. Okay, she said. The word was quiet, but it changed everything. The park wasn't crowded. A few people scattered across the benches, a couple of kids near the swings, someone jogging along the path, steady, focused. Lily ran ahead as soon as they got close, not far, but enough to feel free. She didn't look back. Daniel and Maya walked behind her, not side by side at first, a step apart, then less. Neither of them spoke. The sound of gravel under their shoes filled the space between them. Maya's hands stayed in her coat pockets. Daniel noticed the way her eyes moved, not scanning everything at once, carefully, like she was choosing where to look, where not to. They reached the swings. Lily had already taken one, pushing herself gently with her feet. Push me, she called. Daniel stepped forward automatically. He placed his hands on the back of the swing and gave a small push. Not too strong. Lily leaned back slightly, trusting it. Higher, she said. He gave a little more. Behind him, Maya stopped a few steps away. She didn't sit, didn't come closer. Just stood there, watching. Daniel felt it. He didn't turn right away. He gave Lily another push, then another. The rhythm settled in. Forward, back, forward. He stepped back after a moment. You've got it, he said. Lily nodded, pumping her legs now. Daniel turned. Maya hadn't moved. Her gaze was fixed on the swing. Not on Lily exactly. On the motion. The sound. The arc. Something in her face had tightened. Not fear. Something else. Daniel walked a few steps toward her. Too much? He asked quietly. Maya blinked, like she hadn't realized he was there. No, she said. Then, after a second, I just haven't. She stopped. Daniel waited. I used to come here, she finished. He nodded. With your family? He asked before he could stop himself. The word landed. Maya's jaw shifted slightly. Yes. Daniel exhaled. He hadn't meant to pull it forward like that. I'm sorry, he said. Maya shook her head. You don't have to be. The answer came quickly. Too quickly. Daniel didn't argue. They stood there for a moment, the sound of the swing filling the space again. Lily laughed, a short burst, then focused again on keeping her rhythm. Maya's eyes followed her now, more directly. Did they like it? Daniel asked, softer this time. Maya didn't answer immediately. Her hands came out of her pockets, fingers brushing against each other lightly. They did, she said. There was something in her voice, not breaking, not closing, just carrying something. Daniel nodded. That's good, he said. It felt like the only thing that fit. Maya glanced at him briefly. You don't ask the next question, she said. Daniel looked at her. What question? She held his gaze for a second, then looked away. How? She said. Daniel didn't respond. The air shifted slightly. He felt it settle in his chest. I don't need to know, he said. Maya let out a slow breath. Most people do. I'm not most people. The words came out before he weighed them. Maya looked at him again. Longer this time. Not measuring. Not guarded. Just seeing. Lily jumped off the swing suddenly, landing a little unevenly, then steadying herself. Did you see that? She asked, running toward them. Daniel nodded. I did. Maya gave a small nod too. That was good. Lily smiled, then looked between them. Your turn, she said to Maya. Maya froze. Just for a second, then shook her head. No, It's easy, Lily said, already pulling her gently toward the swing. Daniel stepped forward, not stopping her, just close enough. It's okay if you don't want to, he said. Maya hesitated. Her eyes moved from Lily's hand on her sleeve to the swing, then back to Daniel. He didn't push, didn't nod, just waited. Maya swallowed once. Then, slowly, she let Lily guide her forward. She sat down carefully, like the swing might not hold her. Lily stepped back, proud. See? Maya's hands gripped the chains lightly. Daniel moved behind her. Just a small push, she said. Maya nodded. Barely. He placed his hands against the swing, paused, then gave the smallest push. The swing moved, just a little. Maya's shoulders tensed, then loosened. He gave another, slightly more. The motion settled. Not high, not fast. Just enough. Maya's grip on the chains shifted. Less tight. Her feet dragged lightly against the ground, controlling the pace. After a few seconds, she exhaled. A sound Daniel hadn't heard from her before. Not heavy, not sharp, just release. He stepped back. You've got it, he said. Maya didn't answer. But she didn't stop. Lily watched, quiet now. Daniel stood beside her. Neither of them spoke. The swing moved. Forward. Back. Not the same as before, but not the same as it had been either. And Daniel understood something then. Not fully, but enough. This wasn't about fixing anything. It wasn't about replacing what had been lost. It was something else, something slower, something that didn't ask for answers right away. He watched Maya, the way she held the chains, the way her shoulders moved with the rhythm now, and for the first time, he didn't feel like he was stepping into something uncertain. He felt like he was already in it. And leaving wasn't as simple as walking away anymore. It didn't break all at once. Daniel noticed it in the pause. A small one, easy to miss if you weren't looking for it. They were back at the cafe. Same table, same rhythm that had started to feel familiar. Lily was talking about something from school, hands moving as she explained it. Maya was listening, really listening, eyes steady, following each word like it mattered. Daniel watched them both. It had become a habit, not protective, not exactly, just aware. The pause came when Lily mentioned a name, a friend, someone new. She fell off the slide, Lily said, but she didn't cry. Maya nodded. That's brave. It didn't hurt that much, Lily said. She said she's used to it. Maya's hand stilled, just for a second. Daniel saw it. Lily didn't. Used to it? Maya repeated. Yeah, Lily said. She falls a lot. Maya nodded slowly. That can happen. Her voice was steady. Too steady. Daniel leaned back slightly, something tightening in his chest. He didn't know why. Not yet. The server brought their drinks. The usual. No one commented on it anymore. Things had settled into patterns. That should have made it easier. It didn't. Lily picked up her cup, blowing on it like always. Maya wrapped her hands around hers, not gripping, just holding. Daniel watched the way her fingers pressed lightly against the surface, still, controlled. You were good on the swing, Lily said suddenly. Maya blinked, pulled back into the moment. I was okay, she said. You didn't fall, Lily added. Maya's lips curved slightly. That's true. Daniel glanced at her. There was something in the way she said it. He couldn't place it. Not fully. But it stayed. They talked about small things after that. School. Weather. Nothing that mattered. Everything that did. Daniel let it happen. He didn't steer it, didn't shape it. That had become another habit. Letting things unfold without pushing. It worked. Until it didn't. Lily finished her drink and leaned back. Can we go to the park again? She asked. Daniel looked at her. Maybe later. Why not now? He hesitated. Not because of the park. Because of the look that passed across Maya's face. Quick, almost gone before it formed. But there. I have something to do later, Maya said before Daniel could answer. Lily frowned slightly. You always say that. Daniel glanced at her. Lily, It's okay, Maya said. But her voice had shifted. Not closed, not distant, just careful again, like it had been in the beginning. Daniel felt it settle in. That quiet shift. He didn't like it. We don't have to go today, he said. Lily looked between them. But we always. Not always, Daniel said, softer. Lily's shoulders dropped slightly. Okay. She didn't argue. That was worse. Silence followed. Not the same as before. This one pressed. Maya noticed it too. I didn't mean, she started, then stopped. Daniel waited. I just can't today, she said. He nodded. That's fine. The words were simple, but they didn't land that way. Maya's gaze dropped to the table. Her fingers moved again, lightly tracing the edge of the cup. The crane sat beside it, unfolded slightly now. Daniel hadn't seen it like that before. It wasn't ruined. Just changed. Did something happen? He asked. The question came out before he decided to say it. Maya's head lifted. Her eyes met his. For a second, she didn't answer. Then no. Too quick. Daniel held her gaze. He didn't push, but he didn't look away either. Maya shifted slightly in her chair. I just need a day, she said. Lily looked at her. A day from what? Daniel closed his eyes briefly. Maya doesn't have to explain, he said. Lily nodded slowly. Okay. But she didn't look convinced. Maya noticed that. Of course she did. I'm not going anywhere, she said. The words landed differently. Heavier. Like they carried more than they showed. Daniel felt it. That edge. The one that hadn't been there before. Or maybe it had. And he hadn't seen it. You don't have to say that, he said. He said. Maya's expression shifted. Not hurt. Something else. I know, she said. Another pause. Longer this time. Daniel leaned back, exhaling slowly. Something was off. Not wrong, but not steady either. He had felt it building quietly over the past few days, in the way things had started to settle too neatly. In the way Lily expected things now. In the way Maya showed up, consistently, predictably. That wasn't the problem. The problem was what sat underneath it. Unspoken. Unclear. Daniel had avoided it. On purpose. Because once it was spoken, it wouldn't stay simple. And simple had been enough. Until now, Lily broke the silence. Did I do something? She asked. Daniel looked at her immediately. No. Maya shook her head. No, Lily. But the answer came with hesitation. Small. But there. Lily saw it. Daniel saw her see it. That was enough. Then why does it feel weird? Lily said. The question sat in the middle of the table. No one moved. Maya's hand tightened slightly around the cup. Daniel felt something shift in him. Not sudden, not sharp, but clear. This wasn't just about a day, or the park, or a small change in routine. It was something else, something he had been avoiding naming, and now was sitting there, waiting. He looked at Maya, really looked. And for the first time since they met, he saw it clearly. Not just the loss, not just the quiet distance, but the fear of something new, of stepping into something that might ask more than she could give, or more than she was ready to lose again. Daniel inhaled slowly. He didn't rush to fix it, didn't soften it. Because things changed, he said. Lily frowned. How? Daniel didn't answer her right away. His eyes stayed on Maya. She didn't look away. They got closer, he said. The words were simple, but they didn't feel small. Maya's fingers loosened slightly, then tightened again. Lily looked between them. Is that bad? Daniel didn't answer. Maya did. Sometimes, she said. And that was the moment it shifted. Not broken. Not yet. But no longer steady. And Daniel knew whatever this was becoming, it wasn't going to stay easy. They didn't leave right away. No one stood. No one reached for their things. The table held them there, like something unfinished had settled into it. Lily traced a faint circle on the surface with her finger, over and over, not looking at either of them now. Daniel let the silence stay. He didn't try to fix what had been said. Some things didn't get smaller when you softened them. Maya's gaze had dropped again, but not the way it used to. Not distant, just inward. Her hand moved to the crane. She adjusted one of the folds, then another, careful, like she could return it to how it had been if she moved slowly enough. "You didn't have to say it like that," she said after a while. Her voice was quiet. Not accusing, just steady. Daniel nodded once. "I know." He didn't explain further. Maya looked up at him then. "Then why did you?" He held her gaze. "Because it's already there." The words didn't come out sharp. They didn't need to. Maya's jaw shifted slightly. Her fingers stilled on the paper. Lily stopped tracing the circle. No one moved. Daniel leaned forward just a little, resting his arms on the table. "I wasn't planning to say anything," he added. "Not today." Maya's eyes searched his face briefly. "For how long?" she asked. He didn't answer right away. He hadn't thought about it in those terms. "I don't know," he said. "That's the problem," she replied. There was no anger in it. That made it heavier. Daniel exhaled slowly. "I wasn't trying to make it something," he said. Maya's expression shifted. "It already is," she said. The words landed between them, quiet but firm. Lily looked up again, confusion clear now. "What is?" she asked. Neither of them answered. Daniel felt it then, the weight of her question, simple and direct, sitting in a space that didn't have a simple answer. Maya noticed too. She looked at Lily, her expression softening. "It's just—" She paused, searching for something that wouldn't break the moment further. "It's just hard sometimes." Lily frowned. "Why?" Maya opened her mouth, closed it. Her eyes moved to Daniel for a second, then back to Lily. "Because when things start to feel good," she said slowly, "you remember what it felt like before they stopped being good." Lily didn't fully understand, but she felt enough of it. "Oh," she said. Daniel watched Maya as she spoke. There was no distance in her now, no pulling away, just honesty, careful but not hidden. He respected that, even if it made everything more complicated. Lily picked up the crane, turning it slightly. "It didn't stop," she said. Maya blinked. "What?" "It didn't stop," Lily repeated. "We're still here." Daniel felt something tighten in his chest. Maya didn't respond right away. Her eyes stayed on the crane in Lily's hands. "That's not what I meant," she said gently. "I know," Lily said. And she did, in her own way. But she also didn't. Daniel could see both. He reached out, resting his hand lightly on Lily's arm. "Sometimes things stop for people even if they don't stop for us," he said. Lily looked at him. "That's not fair." "No," he said. "It isn't." Maya watched them both. Something in her expression shifted again. Not pain, not exactly. Recognition. And something close to resistance. Not toward them. Toward the idea of letting this continue. Daniel saw it. He understood it. More than he wanted to. "I don't want to do this halfway," Maya said suddenly. The words came out before she softened them, before she shaped them. They landed as they were. Daniel didn't move. "What does that mean?" he asked. Maya looked at him directly. "It means—" She hesitated, then continued. "I can't sit here every week and pretend this is just something small." Lily looked between them again. "It's not small," she said. Maya's gaze softened slightly. "I know." Daniel leaned back in his chair. His hands rested on his knees now, grounded. "What are you asking?" he said. Maya inhaled slowly. "I'm not asking," she said. "That's the problem." Daniel nodded once. He understood. She wasn't asking for anything. She was deciding whether to stay or step back, and she didn't know which one would hurt less. The realization sat heavy in him. Lily looked down at the crane again. Did I make it wrong? She asked quietly. Maya's head turned toward her immediately. No, she said, almost too fast. Then, softer, no you didn't. Lily nodded, but her shoulders stayed slightly lowered. Daniel felt it. That small shift in her. It mattered. He looked at Maya again. You don't have to figure it out today, he said. Maya held his gaze. I already waited too long to figure other things out, she replied. Daniel didn't have an answer for that. He didn't try to give one. Silence settled again. Not the same as before. This one carried weight. Real weight. The kind that didn't pass on its own. Lily slid the crane back toward Maya. You can keep it, she said. Maya looked at it, then at Lily. I don't know if I should, she said. Lily frowned. Why not? Maya's fingers hovered over the paper. Because keeping it meant something, more than it had before. More than a simple gesture. More than a kind moment. Daniel saw the hesitation. He didn't interrupt it. Maya closed her eyes briefly, then picked up the crane. Held it, not carefully this time, just held it. I'll keep it, she said. Lily smiled, small but real. Daniel watched Maya. And in that moment, he understood something clearly. This wasn't about whether she stayed or left. It was about whether she allowed herself to belong to something again, even a small part of it, even something unfinished. And that was the part she was afraid of. Not them, not Lily, not even him, but the cost of letting it matter. Daniel stood up slowly, not because he was leaving, because sitting still felt heavier now. We should go, he said quietly. Lily looked at him. Now? He nodded. Yeah. She didn't argue. She slid off the chair, adjusting her sleeve absent-mindedly. Maya stayed seated. She didn't try to stop them. Didn't ask them to stay. Daniel looked at her. There was something he could say. Something that might make it easier. He didn't say it. Instead, next Saturday, he said. Not a question, not a promise, just there. Maya's eyes met his. She didn't answer right away. Then, maybe. It wasn't certain. It wasn't enough. But it wasn't nothing. Daniel nodded once, then turned. Lily followed him quietly this time. The door opened. The chimes sounded, and for the first time since this started, the space between them didn't feel settled when they walked away. It stayed open, unfinished, and Daniel knew whatever came next, it wouldn't come easily. Daniel didn't ask Lily if she wanted to go the next Saturday. He didn't mention it at all. Morning came. Quiet. Slower than usual. Lily sat at the table, pushing cereal around her bowl more than eating it. She didn't look up. Daniel stood by the sink, rinsing the same cup longer than necessary. The house felt different, not tense, just waiting. You forgot, Lily said finally. Daniel turned the tap off. I didn't forget. She looked at him then. Then why aren't we going? He dried his hands slowly. I wasn't sure if we should. Lily frowned. Why wouldn't we? Daniel leaned against the counter, arms crossing loosely. Because things got a little complicated last time. Lily thought about that. They weren't bad, she said. No, he agreed. They weren't. Then we should go. The way she said it, simple, certain, made it harder than it should have been. Daniel looked at her. She wasn't asking. She was deciding. He exhaled through his nose. Finish your breakfast, he said. Lily didn't smile, but she picked up her spoon. That was enough. The cafe looked the same. It always did. That almost made it worse. Daniel opened the door. The chime sounded. He didn't scan the room right away. He stepped inside first. Let the space settle. Then he looked. The table by the window. Empty. Lily noticed it at the same time. Her steps slowed. She's not here, she said. Daniel nodded. She might be late. Lily didn't sit right away. She stood near the table looking at the chair Maya usually took, then at the napkin holder, then back at Daniel. We can wait, she said. He hesitated. Not long. Okay. They sat. Daniel ordered coffee. Lily ordered hot chocolate. The routine felt thinner, like something had been removed from it. They waited. 10 minutes. 15. The cafe filled slightly, then settled again. People came and went. No one who mattered. Lily stopped swinging her legs. She watched the door. Every time it opened, every time it wasn't her. Daniel checked his watch once, then stopped himself from doing it again. She said maybe, he said. Lily nodded. But she usually comes early. Daniel didn't answer. He knew that too. 20 minutes. The coffee cooled. Lily didn't touch her drink. Maybe she forgot, she said. Daniel looked at her. She didn't forget. How do you know? He didn't respond right away. Because he didn't. Not for certain, but it didn't feel like forgetting. It felt like something else. Lily's shoulders dropped slightly. Can we stay a little longer? Daniel nodded. Yeah. They stayed. Another 10 minutes. Then Lily slid off her chair. Okay, she said. Daniel looked at her. You sure? She nodded. But she didn't look up. They stood. Chairs scraped lightly against the floor. Daniel placed money on the table, more than usual. He didn't think about it. They walked toward the door. Lily paused before stepping out. She turned back once. Just once. Then followed him outside. Didn't go straight home. Daniel didn't ask. He just turned the car toward the park. Lily didn't question it. She watched the road. Quiet. When they got there, she got out without waiting, walked ahead. Not running, just moving. Daniel followed. The park looked the same too. Unchanged. Swings moving slightly in the breeze. Empty. Lily walked up to one and sat down. She didn't call for a push. She just sat there, feet flat on the ground. Daniel stood a few steps away. He didn't move closer right away. She said maybe, Lily said again. I know. She didn't say no. I know. Lily looked down at her shoes, then at the ground, then back at the swing. Daniel stepped closer. Sometimes maybe means not yet, he said. Lily shook her head. Or it means no. Daniel didn't argue. He couldn't. She wasn't wrong. They stood there in silence. The wind shifted slightly. A dry leaf scraped across the ground. Lily nudged herself forward once, then let the swing slow again. Daniel watched her. Then, movement at the edge of his vision. He turned. Maya stood near the path. Not close, not far, just there. She hadn't been there a second ago. Or maybe she had. He hadn't noticed. She didn't step forward immediately. She stayed where she was, hands in her coat pockets again, shoulders slightly tense, watching them. Daniel didn't call out, didn't wave. He just stood there. Letting her decide, Lily noticed a second later. She turned, saw her. Her face changed instantly. Not excitement, not relief, something quieter, real. You came, she said. Maya nodded once. I did. Her voice carried across the small distance. Steady. Daniel watched her carefully. There was something different, not fragile, not distant. Resolved. She walked toward them slowly, each step measured, not hesitant, just deliberate. She stopped a few feet away. Not too close, not far. I'm sorry, she said. The words came without delay. Daniel didn't respond. Lily did. For what? Maya looked at her. For taking a day and not knowing how to say what I needed. Lily considered that, then nodded. Okay. That was it. No weight added. No questions. Daniel exhaled slowly. Maya looked at him then. I almost didn't come, she said. He nodded once. I figured. She held his gaze. I didn't come because I felt like I had to. He didn't respond. I came because I decided to. That landed differently. Daniel felt it. The difference between obligation and choice, between hesitation and intention. What changed, he asked. Maya looked past him for a second. At the swings, at the empty space around them, then back at him. I realized leaving wouldn't make it smaller, she said. Daniel absorbed that, slowly. And staying, he asked. Maya exhaled. Staying means it matters. The words were simple, but they carried everything. Lily looked between them. It already matters, she said. Maya's expression softened. I know. She stepped closer then. Not all the way. Just enough. Daniel didn't move, didn't close the distance. He let her choose it. And she did. Not fully, but more than before. That's the part I was afraid of, she said. Daniel nodded. I know. And he did. Because it wasn't just her. He had felt it too. The quiet shift from something light to something that could stay. Something that could be lost. Again. Lily stood up from the swing. Walked over. Took Maya's hand. Not asking. Just doing. Maya froze for a second. Then didn't pull away. Her fingers closed around Lily's. Carefully. But she understood the weight of something so small. Daniel watched them. Didn't interrupt. Didn't speak. The moment didn't need it. Maya looked at Lily. Do you want to push me? She asked. Lily smiled. Yeah. They walked to the swing together. Maya sat. This time without hesitation. Lily stood behind her. Hands small against the back. Ready? She asked. Maya nodded. Lily pushed. Not strong, but enough. The swing moved. Forward. Back. Maya let it. Didn't grip too tight. Didn't stop it. Just let it happen. Daniel stood nearby, watching, not stepping in, not holding back. Just there. And for the first time since all of this began, nothing felt uncertain in that moment. Not because everything was solved. Not because it was easy. But because it was chosen. Deliberately, by all of them. And that made it different. In a way that wouldn't disappear when they walked away. Not this time. They didn't go back to the cafe right away after that. It wasn't discussed. They just stayed at the park longer than usual. Lily moved between the swings and the small patch of grass nearby, picking up sticks, drawing lines in the dirt, coming back every few minutes like she needed to make sure they were still there. Maya sat on the bench for a while after the swing. Not withdrawn. Just still. Her hands rested on her lap, the crane held between her fingers. The edges had softened even more now. One wing bent slightly out of shape. She didn't fix it. Daniel sat at the other end of the bench. Not close. Not distant. The space between them didn't feel like something that needed to be measured anymore. They didn't speak for a long time. The park carried its own sounds, distant voices, the low hum of traffic, the wind moving through dry leaves. Maya watched Lily. Not in that careful way from before. Not like she was trying to understand something fragile. Just watching. Daniel noticed it. The difference. You didn't come to the cafe, he said eventually. It wasn't a question. Maya nodded. I went, she said. Daniel turned his head slightly. You did? She looked down at the crane. I sat in the car for a while, she said. I saw you go in. Daniel absorbed that. You could have come in, he said. Maya shook her head. I couldn't yet. There was no hesitation in it. Just truth. Daniel nodded once. That's fair. She looked at him then. You stayed. Yeah. For how long? Long enough. Maya exhaled quietly. I didn't want you to think I wasn't coming back. Daniel leaned forward slightly, resting his elbows on his knees. I didn't think that. It wasn't entirely true, but it wasn't false either. Maya studied his face for a second, then nodded. I needed to know it was still there, she said. What was? She glanced toward Lily. Not the cafe, she said. This. Daniel followed her gaze. Lily was crouched near the edge of the path, arranging small stones into a line that didn't quite stay straight. He watched her for a moment, then looked back at Maya. "It was," he said. Maya nodded. "I know." Silence settled again. Not heavy, not empty, just full. Maya shifted slightly on the bench. "I can't replace anything," she said. Daniel didn't respond. He let her continue. "I don't want to pretend that this makes up for anything," she added. He nodded. "It doesn't have to." Maya looked at him. "That's not how people usually think." Daniel shrugged slightly. "People usually try to fix things. And you don't?" He thought about that. Then shook his head. "No." Maya held that for a moment, then looked away. "That's why this feels different," she said. Daniel didn't answer. He didn't need to. Lily ran back toward them then, holding something in her hands. "Look," she said. Daniel glanced down. "A rock?" "It's shaped like a heart," she said. He tilted his head. It wasn't. But it wasn't nothing either. "Yeah," he said. "I see it." Lily turned to Maya. "You see it?" Maya looked at the stone carefully, then nodded. "I do." Lily smiled. "Keep it." Maya blinked. "You're giving me a lot of things," she said. Lily shrugged. "I have more." Maya let out a small breath. Not quite a laugh, but close. She took the stone, held it with the grain. Two small things, not valuable, but not replaceable either. Daniel watched her fingers close around them, careful, but not afraid. That was new. Lily climbed onto the bench between them, sitting close without thinking about it. Daniel shifted slightly to give her space. Maya didn't move away. That mattered more than it should have. "Are you coming next Saturday?" Lily asked. The question came without hesitation. No caution. No wait. Maya looked at her. Then at Daniel. He didn't step in. Didn't soften it. Didn't redirect. He let it stand. Maya inhaled slowly, then exhaled. "Yes," she said. Lily nodded, satisfied. "Okay." No celebration, no extra words, just acceptance. Daniel looked at Maya. "Are you sure?" he asked. She met his gaze. "Yes." There was something steady in it. Not forced, not fragile. Chosen. Daniel nodded once. "Okay." They sat there a little longer. The sun shifted lower. The light softened. Lily leaned against him after a while, her head resting against his arm. He adjusted slightly so she was more comfortable. Maya watched that. Quiet. Present. Not distant. Not guarded. Just there. And Daniel realized something then. It wasn't sudden. It had been building. But it settled fully in that moment. This wasn't about filling a space. Not for him. Not for Maya. Not even for Lily. It wasn't about replacing what had been lost, or recreating something that used to exist. It was something else, something smaller and stronger because of it, something they were choosing piece by piece, without naming it too quickly, without forcing it into something it wasn't ready to be. Maya looked down at the crane again. One wing still bent. She didn't fix it. She let it stay that way. Daniel noticed. He understood why. Some things didn't need to be perfect to be kept. Some things were kept because they weren't. Lily shifted slightly, half asleep now, her breathing slower. Daniel rested his hand lightly on her shoulder. Maya looked at him, then at Lily, then back at him. There was a question there, not spoken, not needed. Daniel didn't answer it. He didn't have to, because the answer wasn't something they would say. It was something they would keep choosing, in small ways. Over time, Maya leaned back against the bench. The tension in her shoulders had eased, not gone, but different, manageable, real. She closed her eyes for a second, then opened them again. Still there, still present, still choosing. Daniel looked ahead, the park stretching out in front of them, unchanged, ordinary, and somehow not the same as before. He didn't think about what came next, didn't try to define it, didn't need to. Because for the first time, it wasn't uncertain in the way it had been. It was open, and that was enough. They stayed until the light started to fade. No rush, no final words. Just the quiet understanding that they would leave and come back. Not because they had to, because they had decided to.